Hi everyone, Ingrid here. Today we are going to be making the adorable, cute and crafty Pro Max phone. It's everything you didn't know you wanted and more. It has this adorable camera feature, and if you like to send surprises to your crafty friends, there is lots of storage. So let's get started. I've used the Whitlock Doodlebug Design Cute and Crafty Phone cut file. Say that fast 5 times. The overall size of my phone is 4.788 inches by 8.257 inches that I cut in my Cricut. And as you can see, I have cut the base twice. So this will be the front of the phone, and then this will be the back of the phone. You will also need to cut 2 more base pieces measuring 4.75 inches wide and 4.65 inches wide. They will actually be the inside of the front of the phone and then the inside of the back of the phone, and it will hide all your adhesive and trimming and cutting, so it'll look nice and neat once you're finished, like that. But I've done it for this one in the same color because I wanted it to be all matchy-matchy. For the screen of the phone, you're going to cut an additional base piece in black. And it is 4.125 inches wide by 7.113 inches long. And what I've done is I've cut it at 5 7/8, and we're just going to layer it on top and use the corners to shape the bottom of the full piece. And I'm doing this upside down and backwards because I have no idea how to hang my camera any other way. So newbie here for sure. And then that way you've got, I'll trim that up a little bit better, but it will be the screen of your iPhone. So let's decorate the front and the back of the phone first before we do the construction of the lids. For the app buttons, today we're going to use the Cute and Crafty craft and color paper. And what I've done is I've cut 1.25 inch piece and I've made squares out of them that we're going to use for app buttons. Initially, I used the cut-apart pieces out of the 6x6 paper pad. Once you have all your squares cut out for your app buttons, you want to just round the corners. And I've run them through my Xron Create a Sticker mini machine that I use throughout the project. You might be asking yourself, but Ingrid, what are we going to decorate our app buttons with? Well, shape sprinkles, of course. All right, so now it's time to start layering, building, and gluing. And there's lots of bits and pieces, and I will absolutely put all those measurements in the description, but we'll kind of just work our way through and get started. So first we need to add our face to our phone, which I have right here, but I need to put a little bit of adhesive here, just run it right through. And I have this piece here. So that's going to go to the back of this one right there. And then this has got to get stuck down onto the other base. So just some more adhesive. Move our screen out of the way for now. I'm going to just center it. Oh, we gotta get this bottom there. Just want to center it. And there we are. And then the button for the phone, it was on one of the Xron sheets, and that just goes right in there. Of course, are you the same with me? The grain of the paper has to be lined up or it bugs you? No, I didn't think so. All right, and then our screen. All right, now my cheeks are, let's go down just a little bit, just above that, I believe. Yeah, just above the button, but centered. And I apologize if there's shadowing. This is by far not a professional filming situation. All right, so I've glued the base and the face and the screen and the button, and now we're just going to put on the app stickers. I guess it would help if I did it straight, right? So I'm going to do this off camera and then I'll be right back. And we're back and we have some app buttons. And before we decorate those, we're going to make our camera lens on the back of our phone. So what you need is a 1 3/4 inch by 1.5 piece of dark gray paper. And then you take a 1 inch corner punch and just go and do all the corners. Let's get those out of the way. So we've got that. Just have to trim her up a second. A smidge, a smidge. Okay. Okay. And so I've rounded the corners, and so this is just going to be a layering technique. So let's look at the back of this camera as a reference. I'm going to run this through the sticker maker, just because it's got great adhesive. It's going to go on the top here, and then you have 3 gray, exactly the same gray circles as you have your rectangle out of, and I cut these in the Cricut because they were how big were they now? Pieces. Did I forget to write that down? I'm not sure. I think they're 0.60 inches in the Cricut because the punch is a 1/2 inch. That's what it was. Sorry for the delay. So the black ones are 1/2 inch and the gray ones are 0.60 cut on the Cricut. So these ones you just are going to layer on here. Just building layers. Whoops. Apparently I'm really great at this. It wouldn't be so bad if I didn't care about the grain of the paper. And this one here. A little bit higher. All right. For whatever reason, that one didn't get all the adhesive on there. Bizarre. Oh, that's why I had to change my tape in the machine. Okay, so 1, 2, almost 3. There we go, and then there's the third one here. And of course, just a smidge off the grain. And now I have the white piece. So this is just was punched with a paper punch. So I have 1 white piece, and that's for the flash. That goes right there. And then you layer the black pieces on top of the already lenses that are happening there. 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. I figured if I would do it this way, you'd be able to not have to see all my hands, but my hands are still in the way. All right, now with the paper punch again, what I did was, I don't even know if you can see these, but let me put them on here. And I cut out of acetate 3 camera lenses as well. So just a little bit the same size as the white. Let's put them there. And so we're going to put a dot of glue on each of the black. And then we're going to pop the acetate into the center. Let's see if I've got... Oh, I need a needle. I used it yesterday, but it was... Okay. All right. There. And is that going to work? Get me some glue? Huh. Weird. And you don't need a whole lot, just like a little itty bitty bit, just a small dollop is good enough. And then I use my tweezers to get these on there because my big fingers cannot center the little itty bitty ones. And there's the lenses. I just apply a little bit of pressure and these will dry clear, so it'll look pretty similar. And then I have one of these, the clear drip drops from Tailored Expressions. So I've pulled one out, and I'm also going to put a little drop of glue here, and we're going to add that as well. It's really stuck in there. I'm gonna have to wash the nozzle of that. So weird, because I just used it yesterday, no problem. It's gonna be a catch-up situation where I'm gonna have too much glue in a second. There we go. And the itty bitty drip drop there. Of course it's going to go on its head. Maybe I should use the tweezers for these as well. Maybe my big fingers. It is gonna just be finicky today because I'm so not used to doing this. All right, there. Whew. Okay, so we have the back of the camera, and all we need to finish decorating that is the heart. So somewhere we have a heart. Oh, I forgot the cheeks. Okay, so let's pop the heart on there. Back of the phone, done. Front of the phone, we need cheeks. Now when you cut on your Cricut, the cheeks come cut like this, and I save this as a spacer. So what I do is I pop it down over the face, kind of look where the center is, and then I use that kind of as a spot, and that way your cheeks kind of are the same distance apart and where they should be to keep the Doodlebug look. Now let's see if it worked. And that is that. And then I'm going to shape sprinkle these and then we'll be back. All right, so we now have a decorated front of our phone and we have a decorated back of our phone. Now we need to make the boxes that they'll live on. So what I've done is I gave you the measurements and we're just going to put this off to the side for now, as you'll see in a moment. But when you did your cuts for the top portion and the bottom portion, save this piece of paper to use as a template, because what we're going to do is you're going to trace onto a white piece of paper these two shapes, and this is what we're going to trim each part with. So we're going to have you cut 5 pieces of 1.5 by 12, and on the 5th piece you need to cut 2 3-inch pieces. So there's 6 pieces here in total that we're going to use. 2 and a small one to trim the top and 2 and a small one to trim the bottom. So now we have our template and I'm going to place a piece of acetate over top of it and start building our edges. So you just want to take all of the pieces that are scored and just make sure that they're all folded. All right. Now, what you want to do is you want to join these 2 lengths together. Make them as even as possible. Just a bit, so I'm going to trim that edge so it's a nice edge. All right. And then you're going to place it right at the top of the edge, of the top of the edge. And you're going to take a pencil and on the inside, you're just going to about 3/4 of an inch before and 3/4 of an inch after, or an inch on each side where the corner is going to start. And then you can just cut out this part so it can go around the corner. And now you can see that it will go around the corner nicely. And so what you want to do is use some washi tape or low tack tape just to hold it in place on the top edge. And you want to go around the corner, following the corner, and then again use a piece of tape, and you're just going to adhere it down to the bottom so you can mark where the next corner is going to be. And right there. Oops. Very low tack tape it is. That's what it is. We gotta try and do it at the same time. Here we go. 1, 2 there. And 1, 2 here. Make sure that it's gonna follow. So you want it to be on the inside of the pencil mark. That way it won't be too big or too small. So as you can see, now you just want to do the same thing about here to here, and here to here, and make your cut lines again, so then it can curve, and we will attach the bottom piece at the end. All right, so now what I've done is I've trimmed all 4 corners and shaped it, and I want to take my big piece for the top that you've pre-cut, and you just want to fit it in there just to make sure that your corners are gonna go when you have to glue it. So you might have to do a little bit of shaping at the same point, at the same time. So I'd start hot gluing here first, and then hot glue here, insert this, and then hot glue at the other end. So we're gonna go ahead and try that on camera. Let's see if I can do it without being completely, but I'm gonna take this off just to have the wiggle room, because I need these pieces to be a little bit more free-flowing while I get my corners right. So you wanna start here. Let's just get this here. And you'll be able to take the tack tape off afterwards. So you just want to make sure that that is right up against the top here, because that's your top edge. And ultimately, you're just gonna glue the corners and keep going. So I can move this piece of tape. So I don't, this isn't going to be a pretty part, but this is probably the most complicated of the whole thing. So the low tack tape I glued above it so I can get the washi out. There we go. And I just want to reinforce it with a little bit more there. Okay. And so we're going to go around the corner, so more glue. And that's why I had you put the acetate down, because when you're wrapping it and with the hot glue, you can just take it and make sure it's nice and tight, and you don't have to worry about your desk getting burnt or sticking to the paper, because it'll come off the acetate. And stringies. And then we can remove this piece because we're going to glue straight down there. I guess I should double check that the video's recording before I go any further. Yes, okay, we are all right then. So we're just gonna add some more hot glue in there. I'm just gonna have to push on it. It's not, my trigger doesn't want to work right now. Of course not. That would make more sense if it actually cooperated with me, right? Apparently glue is not cooperating with me when I try to do something like this. That's okay. This is my first one. You guys aren't gonna leave me a whole bunch of nasty comments, are ya? No, I know you're not. You guys are all awesome. All right. Okay, so that one's there. And as you can see, this top and this side is all done. Now we're gonna work our way into the next corner. And I like to glue this because it's got more adhesive spot there. So as I wrap it and put it down, and then I can press it as it's hardening. So you kind of got to work a little quickly at it. All right, and now to the other side. Again, hot glue around the corner, wrap the paper, flip it, press it. Make sure that's in there. And see, it's stuck to the acetate, but if you just give it a little twist, it'll come off. So that's the purpose of that. All right. Oh, okay. My back, I guess I gotta sit back down. So side again. So we're just gonna take off the tape that we did because now we don't need it. And we're just going to glue the side. Line it up, press it together, get that corner piece. Oh, this is a little, I didn't do anything super fancy, just whatever my scissors decided to cut out in the corner here. And that's going to go around this way, flip it and press it. There you are. I have a little bit of a stick, but that's okay because the top, this is the underneath of the top of our phone. So our this is going to be adhered to the back of this. So that's all going to be hidden with the main part of the phone. So that's why there's a piece inside here. And then this doesn't matter because it's going to be covered by that. Do you see it? Are you excited yet? All right, now the end part. Where is my little tabby? Oh, there it is. It flew off my desk. And so we're just gonna add some adhesive and then glue it. And did I forget to glue one edge or did I get all of them? I got all of them. Okay. I have a second guess of myself there. So basically you want to put glue here on both ends and then on the bottom edge. All right, and line it up center with the end because this is where the power plug's gonna go on, and pinch it together. And this is just a little high, so I'm just going to trim it. Not sure what I did there, but it will all look pretty when it's done, so it won't matter. All right. Trim the box. All right, so now you have your top of the bottom, top of the box for the top of the box, the lid for the box, and there's a spot there. I'm going to put some glue under there and press it. Make sure it's sticking well. And since this is our box here, oh, that's the bottom. So where the 3-inch piece is going to be the bottom of the box. And I'm going to have you trim about 1/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch out of the gray cardstock you use for your camera, and you just want to round the corners just a little, just to make it look kind of rounded, not like super duper anything dramatic, but that way when you put your power plug on, it'll have the little spot that it should go in. It all runs out of batteries eventually. So down on that 3-inch area, we're just gonna put the little spot there. I'm just gonna use my tape runner for that. And as you can see here, we're just gonna go right about there, center it, or not center it, and try it again. Has anybody made an over-the-shoulder camera? I think that's what I need. One that kind of comes from this direction down. Okay, so we've got our power plug, which now you're gonna flip that over and you are going to add your phone to the top of it. So we just want to make sure that it's all gonna smushy in together, and it looks pretty good to me. So I'm just gonna give her glue real fast, and we're gonna go quite quickly because it's a large area that we have to do. And there, and there, and there, and get it on before it hardens. Make sure you put your top end at the right end. And we have the top of our phone, the front of our phone, the front of our phone. Okay, well, I'm gonna give it a good push underneath here. Get all that glue together. And so now we're just going to do the exact same thing, but on this template for the bottom. So now it's time for the second verse, same as the first, ultimately. So we want to fold our score lines over. Same thing for the other piece. And the small bottom piece. And you're going to join these two with hot glue, just a little bit overlapping. Try not to burn your computer while you do that. Haha. All right. And so now you want to make sure you have your template. You're going not off the top template because that's where this one is. You're going off the bottom template, and it's just a little tiny bit smaller, just so it'll slip into the top case without any trouble. So again, we're just going to line it up at the top, mark it here where we're going to cut out all the cutout parts, and there. I'll just do this on here. Same thing. So Christian, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to piece together all of these videos because I tried to do it in one shot, and I think I did about 30 takes before I realized that there was no way that I was going to be able to shoot this all at once. I was making way too many mistakes and way too many hilarious stumbles and mumbles. I don't know how you do lives. Oh my gosh, this makes me so nervous. But I'm sure I will figure it out. I just have to Google it after I'm done all of this, and then I can be one of the channels that actually has something on it. And just do that, and I just throw it on the floor because I'll vacuum it up later. All right, so we go here, down to this one, shape it there. I can do it a little bit more quicker now because I did it more slowly the first time around, so I'm not necessarily taking the time to tape it down and stuff because you guys get the idea, I think. All right, and then trim all these out. just pretend that I know how to play music during this boring part. There's only so many things that my brain can learn to do at one time, and this is the most. Now I understand why they add the music, because the dead air is not as nearly entertaining. I should go dun dun dun. Up next on As We Hot Glue Paper. Confession time. I usually watch true crime videos while I'm scrapbooking and making all these fun cutesy things, and in the corner there's all this darkness that's playing while I'm crafting. All right, so I've got all my edges cut, so I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna tape it at the top of the edge of my template, not as deep as I did last time, so I have less trouble getting into it. And then we're just gonna add the glue at the top, and then put the bottom piece, which is the smaller of the two, right up against it as tight as you can go. And we'll remove the washi tape. And now it's just around and round we go. Which way do I want to do first? I'll start at the side. Doesn't really matter which way you do it first. I'm standing up to see. It makes it a little bit easier when you're wrapping your corners, just so you can see, make sure all your edges are together and tight when you go around the corner. Just gonna put this out of the way for now. And then we're gonna add more glue. And I need a glue gun with a better trigger that works all the time. Why don't they work all the time? Okay, we're going to do this corner. Whole bunch of glue. If it's going to cooperate with me. And wrap it tight and then press it. Ooh, it moved on me. I got a sneaky one here. Okay, I'm going to have to add a little bit more glue there because that corner needs much more. This is what happened. I see. Without burning my fingers would be wonderful. And then down the side. Whoops! That's skin. Try not to burn yourself too much. I need to push and add glue at the same time. All right, now I can sit down for the last two. Alright. And again, we don't have to worry about this because it's going to be covered by the bottom of the phone. And whoop. There are hot glue strings. I can see one, but it doesn't want to cooperate with me. So we'll just leave it for now. We're gonna put glue over here on this corner. All right, wrap it and press it really tight. And it's a little tuck but that's why we have the acetate, so it doesn't stick to your desk. And you just give it a twist and off it comes, no problem. I have no idea why my glue gun doesn't want to be nearly as cooperative as the old one. When you start a new stick, it seems to be less cooperative. All right, and the other corner. There's all the strings. You might not be able to see them, but I feel them, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies. All right, so we're gonna go here. And wrap it tight. And flip it, press it. And then we have that little bit. As you can tell, it's not as big of a space as the top box, and it's only literally like, oh goodness, what's the difference between the two? Like ½ inch. So just that ½ inch is gonna let the boxes slide into each other, just like that, once we have the back of the phone on. But that's the bottom, not the top, so it's gonna be like that. All right, so the 3-inch piece, again, you just wanna do both sides and the bottom, both sides, the bottom, and the other side. And that one needs a little bit more, okay. And you wanna line it straight up in the center if you can, and press things up, and I'm just gonna trim the edges that are up a little bit higher. I'm not sure how to do this on camera. If I'm out of camera, I'm sorry. I'm just cutting to make it not as high as where it is. Just a smidge of a bit to cut around here. Sometimes when it goes around in the glue, it builds it up a bit, I guess. No big deal. We just, looks good. So then you just gotta press there. This needs a little bit more glue right here because I can see it popping out. All right. Now, do you know what time it is? It's time to put the back of the phone on. So what we can do is we can get rid of our acetate and our template. We don't need that anymore. This is kind of supposed to be where my center of my camera is. I have no idea if that's true or not now because I've been shooting for a little bit and I don't know if I bumped my table or not. All right, so bottom right here. So the bottom is here, top is here. Now we're gonna give her with the glue around the edges. Yep, you keep going. I get nervous. I don't want the glue to go hard before I have a chance to stick it on. And we're just gonna do one right down the middle. There we go. All right, and line her up. And flip her. And we now have the back of our phone. Ta-da! Your very own Cute and Crafty Pro Max phone. Simply insert the bottom of the back of the phone into the top and you're good to go. I hope you've enjoyed my very first YouTube video, and I hope you enjoy making one of these phones for yourself or one of your crafty friends, and have a spectacular day.